Hello guys, today I'm going to be talking about Substring and my name is Daniel Kang from B4. Okay, let's move right ahead to the definition of Substring. According to the website, the substring method extracts the characters from a string between two specific indices and returns the new substring. And let's move right ahead of how to use substring. Well, first of all, how do we use substring? In the first line I gave you an example about how substring is used. We're going to first declare the object and we're going to use that object to use substring. We're going to use substring by using the object's name, and for this instance the name is object1, and we're going to add plus, add the dot and substring and the parameter and x, and y. Well, you can have up to 2 integers to set the boundary, but you must have at least one integer to set where your substring will begin. Now let's talk about how to count in Java, because this is really important in Java. In this example I use hello space world exclamation mark, and we count Java by starting the first letter with 0. We always have the starting point with 0, and then we increase it by 1. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in this example, we could see that H is 0, and the exclamation mark, which is the end, is 11, and the space bar is 5. So we count the space bar and the exclamation mark as a character. Now let's move into the examples. Hello guys, today I'll be talking about what substring is and how to use substring as an example. Okay, so I started off by creating a public class substring, and I'm going to start off by creating a public static void main string. Public static void main bracket, or the parentheses, public static void main string, the bracket, args, and the bracket. Okay, there we go. So first we're going to initialize an object, a string, Daniel. And we're going to declare, give it a variable or a string name. Since we use hello world in the example, why don't we use that? Hello world. Hello space world exclamation mark. I'm going to end this sentence with a semicolon. Now let's begin how to use substring in this example. In order to use substring, we have to know how to use substring in a proper way. Okay, first of all, we're going to use system.out.print to show how substring really works. And in order to use substring, we're going to type in the object's name, which is Daniel in this case, and type in substring. And in this parameter, we're going to put in an integer. We must at least put in one integer. Okay, for instance, if we don't put any integers inside the parameter, it's going to give us an error because there's no integer inside the parameter. So at least you need one parameter. So I'm going to put in 0 and let's see what happens. It's going to print out hello world exclamation mark. It's going to print out the whole thing because the 0 is inclusive. The first integer is always inclusive, meaning that will be printed. And since 0 is H, it's going to print out H and every letter afterwards. Now let's make it a bit difficult by having 2 parameters. Now let's try printing only spacebar hello spacebar world. In order to do that, we have to include the spacebar, which is at location number 5, and we have to include the number after exclamation mark, which is, I believe, 12. And if we print this, it's going to print out spacebar world. Now let's move on to a different topic, or a harder topic. What happens if you put a number inside the parameter that is not the boundary of the string that you created? So for instance, if we put 20, it's going to say that the string index is out of range. The same goes with the negative number. So it is important to know what the string index is and to put in the correct amount of string index in the parameter. Thank you for listening, and I hope you became a pro in Substring.